Good morning, Level Up fam. How are you today? I hope my tribe is doing well. It is Thursday, the 16th of October. Can't believe it's already halfway through October already. And we are here for another Thankful Thursday. So, this autumn, we are all about gratitude and we are all about celebrating every season of life. So, today's focus is pumpkin spice and perspective. So let's dive in. I want to talk about the fact that life tastes sweeter with perspective, and we want to toast the simple joys of the season. So, whether you like pumpkin spice or not, it still is going to be one of those discussions where you can certainly chime in with what you think are your simple joys of the season. So awesome that folks are starting to make their way in. I appreciate this and appreciate all of you being here and joining me today. I have been battling. I've been fighting a couple of things. One has been a stomach bug, and that lingered for like 10 days. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And the doctor wasn't able to find exactly what it was. I was testing negative for everything, but still miserable and sick. And then the other thing was, of course, people knew about my eye infection that is finally feeling better. I had to take a steroid eye drop first. No, an antibiotic eye drop first for a week, and now I'm on a steroid eye drop, and also an antihistamine eye drop. So it's been crazy, but fortunately the eyes are somewhat back to normal and not screaming red and angry today. So I thought I would brave it without the sunglasses. So let's go ahead and let's hop over to the chat. It is moving along rapidly, and I don't want to get too far behind. So thank you for coming in. First one in today was, of course, John G. Thank you so much for being here, John. Mod extraordinaire. Good morning to you too, sir. And Linda, good morning. Oh, pretty little icon that you have there. Morning to you too. And Angie with whatever floats your boat. Hello, sweetie. How are you? Mickey's Adventures, good morning. Thanks so much for coming over. And Tom from TNT Adventures to Sea saying, hola, mi amigos. That is the extent of Spanish that I would know other than to ask for a cerveza or the baño. I don't know a lot of Spanish. And Lee with Anfield Road Layout in the Loft, how are you? He is listening right now and working on a new project. I can't wait to see what it is, Lee. That sounds awesome. Happy Thursday to you too. And Deb Rogers coming in. Thank you so much for joining us from halfway around the world, Deb. I appreciate you being here. I know Lee is in the UK and Deb is, I'm not sure where you're today, if you are back at your home base or if you are traveling right now. So either way, I will be talking to you shortly. So folks starting to say hi to each other, which I always appreciate and love. And I see that Nightbot is awake this morning. So if you would like to drop your YouTube channel link, please type in the hashtag tribe, TRIBE, and Nightbot will do its thing and drop your link so people can find you. So again, folks saying good morning to each other, which I love and appreciate. And Scott from Scottsdale, Captain Controversy is here. Good morning to you too, sir. Great that you are here today. And Deb says you've never had pumpkin spice? Like a pumpkin spice latte or a pumpkin spice anything? Man, here in the States, they make pumpkin spice everything. Edible and candles and perfumes and house sprays and all kinds of crazy things. It's absolutely insane. So you'll have to come to the States during the autumn one time and you will be so sick of pumpkin spice everything, Deb, it won't even be funny. So awesome that everyone is saying hey to each other. And Ryan Scott, good morning, sir. Thank you for coming in on the CME raid. Kurt and Marcia were on just before me, and they had a great question about what people do with onboard credit. And I got to say, I was torn because I sometimes use it for specialty dining and sometimes use it for spa treatment. So the only way I go to the spa, though, is if I set the expectation immediately upon entering the room with the person who is helping me that I do not want to be sold anything. I don't want any lotions or balms or creams or anything because you are in a highly susceptible state, like after a massage, and suddenly it's ugly. So I make sure to set that expectation right out of the gate. So everyone shouting out to each other, which I love. And Travel with Josiane is here. Good morning, Josiane. Thank you so much for coming in. Tequila seems not to go with many pumpkin spices. That is a true statement. I don't think pumpkin spice tequila is a thing, thankfully. That seems like it would be a dangerous thing. So we'll skip over that. Thank you. I am glad to be back. I'm glad that I am feeling better and on the mend here. So it has been a kind of a crazy road coming back. So awesome. Another CME raid from Scott, and that is terrific. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anyone. So folks that are all saying hey to each other. And here we go. Sea Tripping with Kim and Scott. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Fantastic. So Scott McNeil, holy cow. You are on board the Mardi Gras now in Barcelona, beyond KMA territory. This is, I don't know what the next step beyond KMA is, but it is definitely Kiss something because Scott is getting ready to set sail from Barcelona. So awesome. Enjoy yourself. And I'm so glad that you made it there safely and have really been appreciating and loving the pictures that you've been posting. So more folks coming in off of the CME raid, Mickey's Adventures, thank you. And Law Jones, thank you. Nice backdrop. It felt fallish, so I liked it. Very autumnal. So awesome that you like that. And here we go. Tom says hi to all you amazing people. Billy too. Love it. Okay. And Scott saying, hello, neighbor. Sea Tripping with Kim and Scott. Love that. And here is Captain Billy J. Travels saying, ahoy there, everybody. Ahoy there, Jenny from the block who needs pumpkin spice Pepto. Pumpkin spice Pepto-Bismol and pumpkin spice ice drops, the real eye drops. The real captain is here. I don't want pumpkin spice eye drops. And wow, you know what? It actually would not surprise me if they made pumpkin spice Pepto because they make pumpkin spice everything. So absolutely deranged, but I love it. Thank you so much. And Ron from Defam Adventures. Ron, thanks so much for coming in. Good morning to you, sir. Awesome that you are here, and love that everybody is shouting out to each other. Thanks, Tom. I think ahoy there. There we go. So excellent that everybody is doing their shout outs. I love that. Josiane is shouting out to like everybody all at once, which I appreciate so much. And Kathy Mills is here. Good morning. Thank you for coming over from CME. I appreciate you being here. Let me skip over a couple of folks. Oh, here's Vicky. Hi. How are you, Vicky? Great that you are joining me today. And Vicky will be on at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern time on her channel, and you can grow together. So make sure that you check her out. So match the thumbs up with the number of participants in the chat to show support. Thank you so much, Mickey. I appreciate that. And yes, if you are enjoying the content, please make sure that you press the thumbs up button. It does help the algorithm. So awesome. Here we go. Mickey's having a laugh there. And I want to make sure that I don't miss anyone. Oh, Kathy and Bryant, good morning. How are you today? I know Travel Cake Trips, so great that you are in the house. So here we go. So you are still in Riyadh. Okay. Then as I said, I will be talking to you shortly. So looking forward to that. I know more you know more Spanish, Jen. Taco, burrito, enchilada. Okay, so I do know more than ordering a beer and asking where the bathroom is. I can order some food items. So that is a good thing as well. Let's see. Nightbot is just saying thank you for joining because Mickey went ahead and dropped hashtag tribe. So make sure that you go over, check out the channel and see what's up over there. So Tom says, be my 1,002nd subscriber. So make sure you go over there and check out TNT Adventures to Sea. We also have a dropped link from Ryan Parker Studios, which I appreciate so much that you are in for both channels. And here we go. There's Tom's link for TNT Adventures to Sea. Awesome. Okay, so we are getting a putrid yucky face from Scott McNeil regarding the pumpkin. So there we go. Pumpkin spice everything, says Ron. It is. They probably make pumpkin margaritas. They make pumpkin everything. So it is absolutely insane. So here we go. Onboard stripper. Is that what you're going to be getting with onboard credit or not sure. So pumpkin spice, is that one of the Spice Girls? You know what's funny is I actually saw a cartoon this week that was the Spice Girls lined up and then a pumpkin in it. And it was a joke about pumpkin spice being like the lost Spice Girl. So I just saw that this week. So here we go. Only pumpkin pie or pumpkin bread, muffins or donut. No other pumpkin spice anything, says Ryan. I get that. I totally understand that. And Captain Billy is definitely giving his standard welcome here that gets longer and more complex every time. So we're going to say, ahoy there, semi-shirtless, honorary, temporary, captain of the color guard, drumline, leg stealing, same cutoff shirt wearing, shirt recycler, thumb sucking, fluffer, nutter, FedEx, Ryan. I'm going to be out of breath from saying that. Holy cow, man. And thank you so much for coming in, Kurt and Marsha. I appreciate you being here. Great show this morning. You don't think you've tried anything pumpkin spice? Really? Wow. See, I understand folks saying that they don't like pumpkin spice if they've tried it, but if you've never given it a try before, if you're a fan of pumpkin pie or pumpkin muffins, donuts, bread, etc., then I can see trying it. But if you're not even a fan of pumpkin pie, then I wouldn't even bother with pumpkin spice anything. I really would not. So here we go, Mr. Paul, PSV Odyssey. Howdy, driving and listening. Be careful out there. There's a lot of crazies. So make sure that you are safe. And here we go. Danny Dizzler is in the house saying good morning. Good morning, Danny. Thank you for coming in, sweetie. I appreciate you being here. Let's make sure I am not missing anyone. Here we go. Pumpkin pie and bread. Yes. So we've got votes for that. I also want to hear from you what other kind of simple joys of the season go on for you during autumn. So other than pumpkin spice, that was just one that I came up with, but there's lots more. So DeFam Adventures, Ron is saying, hey, Kathy, 11 more days. That is KMA territory. Honestly, I count anything 30 days or less as KMA territory. So I would definitely count 11 more days as that. So pumpkin spice Pepto-Bismol is needed after drinking or eating all of the pumpkin spice things. So more pumpkin spice to offset that? Yikes. Cheryl, thank you so much for coming in this morning. I appreciate you being here. And remember that right after Level Up Live, you want to head over to Go Live Together with Cheryl, Jeremy, Eddie, Ricky, Ryan, anyone else who happens to show up, and check out their show. So awesome. Danny saying hey to a bunch of people, which is terrific. There we go. Cheryl, beautiful. Yes, she is. Best smile on YouTube. Absolutely. So I want to make sure I am not missing anyone. Here we go. Should be vanilla ice cream Pepto to a la mode, all that pumpkin spice. That would work too, Law. That could definitely work. And Kathy says pumpkin spice warms the mug, perspective warms the soul. Very well said, Kathy. Thank you for that. Awesome. I just want to make sure here. Okay, both pumpkin spice and perspective remind us to savor the moment. I agree with that. And even if you don't like pumpkin spice, so you're not like a pumpkin spice latte kind of person, then make sure that you still type in what a simple joy of autumn is for you. I kind of equate pumpkin spice and pumpkin pie and all of that with Thanksgiving, so it automatically ties into autumn for me. But yeah, that immediately reminds me of that. So it's super beautiful this time of year, 54 degrees, heading to 68 and amazing. We have been having some nice weather in Chicagoland area. Perfect fall weather. We had a couple of days with some rain, but nothing too bad. So it has been a nice autumn so far. And that would be Spice Grandma. Love it. So chili is my favorite fall spice, says Paul. I agree with that. I am a huge fan of chili. I love Chef Todd's chili, obviously. So that would be fantastic to also have in there. So Linda is agreeing 100% with Ryan, and John is agreeing all the way with Paul. So we've got a definite consensus here on all of this. So here we go. Oh my goodness. We have 19 watching and 19 thumbs up. Thank you so much, folks. I really appreciate the interaction. It helps the YouTube algorithm immeasurably. So there's a lot of crazies on the road and in here, says Captain Billy, for sure. That's what keeps us together and keeps us sane, is the collective craziness. I think that all feeds in together. And that is awesome. Thank you so much for keeping an eye on that, Mickey. I appreciate you. So a dash of pumpkin spice and a sprinkle of perspective, fall therapy. I like that. That is great. Now, let's see. Law also says less lawn mowing and more time for great walks. I agree. I will say, however, as far as going for walks, now that we have the new dog, now that we have Miss Willow, I'm taking a lot more walks. She is not trained on the leash yet. So we are still working on that. She is all over the place though. She just follows that nose and the nose is twitching and she wants to sniff like every blade of grass, every leaf that has fallen, every berry that she can find, anything she can find, she wants to sniff. So Kathy says, hey, DeFam Adventures, I'm planning to park myself in the ship's entry to greet you and everyone else. On the first 4-night cruise, I'll be resting up for the group cruise. Love that, Kathy. I'm so glad that you guys are going to get to cruise together. That seems like such a fun opportunity. The Rock and Roll Tribute Cruise is actually 44 days away. So we're under 45 days now. Not quite in KMA territory yet, but we are headed that way. So what I can't believe about it is that cruise set sail the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which means it's just over 40 days to Thanksgiving. This season is flying by as fast as the rest of the year has. So it really is incredible. The important part is you are trained to operate the leash. That is a true statement, John. I agree with that. And oh my goodness, Angie's next cruise is in 18 days. That is KMA territory, my friend. Definitely. So your favorite moments in autumn are pulling out your favorite cozy sweaters and hoodies. I agree, Kathy. It's funny because I have a friend in Florida who sent me their forecast, and because it was under 70, she is now calling it sweater weather. So she was sending me all kinds of memes and things like that about sweater weather. And it makes me laugh because I mean, I don't usually get into a sweater and hoodies until it's probably in the 40s or 50s, because I'm still acclimated to the Midwest temperatures, and I'm sure that if I was in Florida for just a couple of years, the blood would thin, the body would regulate, and I too would be looking for sweaters and hoodies when it fell below 70 and it got into the 60s. But I love pulling out all of that stuff too. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. Actually, my two favorite holidays both fall in autumn. My favorite holiday is Halloween because it's Halloween. It's fabulous. It's candy. It's no gifts to buy. The worse you look, the better it is. You can get away with not dusting the house for the entire month of October and call it decoration. It works out very well. So I love Halloween. Huge fan of that. And Thanksgiving is my second favorite holiday. So my holidays that I love the most fall very close to each other. And Thanksgiving, again, great holiday. Tons of great food, no gifts to buy, can get together with people you actually like to spend time with. We always include friends as well as family members for our Thanksgiving. So we like to make it a Friendsgiving as well as a Thanksgiving. So it really does work out incredibly well. We've got a number of interesting stories from Thanksgiving of kind of family things that have happened at Thanksgiving dinner, announcements of new babies and marriages and all kinds of things that have all happened around the Thanksgiving holiday and around the Thanksgiving table. So that is one of the other reasons why it is one of my favorite holidays. And I will admit, I am a fan of pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, pumpkin donuts, pumpkin muffins, all of that. I am not a fan of a pumpkin latte. And I love lattes, okay? I love all different kinds of lattes. Not a huge fan of the pumpkin spice latte. So, yeah. Now, Linda says, I take my little fur baby, 10 months old, down to the tennis and basketball courts to walk her. It's good for keeping her away from stuff to smell. That is a terrific idea. Unfortunately, I don't have any courts that are near me, other than like a volleyball court over at the local park that is all sand, and she loves to dig in there and get into that. So your fur baby is the same age as my fur baby, Linda. So Willow is 10 months old as well. So awesome suggestion, John. Dutch apple pie. That is a fabulous taste. And that is something that I absolutely love for Thanksgiving as well. We typically for Thanksgiving will have both apple and pumpkin pie. So, gotta have a slice of both. Absolutely. Now, Kathy is saying it's gratitude season, taking stock of how far we've come and slowing down after the summer rush, finding peace in pause. Absolutely. And I'm also finding peace in pause, PAWS, with the new puppy. So I'm finding peace in pause in a couple of different ways. So, and Tom saying TNT here with alter ego. Thank you for coming in with your alter ego, Tom. I appreciate it so much. What else are things that you are grateful for or that you like to celebrate autumn with? So we've talked about sweaters, we've talked about hoodies, pumpkin spice, Dutch apple pies. Absolutely. If you eat too much pie, you'll be the size of a pumpkin. Absolutely. Tom, switching back over to TNT Adventures to see who dat. I love it. Thank you so much for coming in on both channels, Tom. I appreciate it so much. Well, I have enjoyed our talk and enjoyed everything that was going on. It has absolutely flown by, but I have to get to a morning meeting. So I am going to go ahead and start signing off. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Autumn Gratitude series. Remember that every season has its beauty. And you know what? Stay weird, people. Love you. Bye, guys.